Hey guys, for this video today, I will be sharing my thoughts on the newly unveiled Winter Classic logos for the Dallas Stars and the Nashville Predators that will be used for the upcoming 2020 Winter Classic. Now, in Nashville's case, this logo will only be a shoulder patch, which, although it's a great logo, that basically confirms, in my opinion, that the Predators will be paying homage to a former team that used to play in Nashville called the Dixie Flyers. And in the Stars' case, of course, they are paying homage to a team that once played in the United States Hockey League in the mid to late 1940s called the Dallas Texans. And I think it's really cool that both cities are diving way, way back to decades and decades of history to pay homage to hockey teams that used to play in these cities. I mean, to be honest, I was actually quite surprised that there was a minor professional hockey team in Nashville called the Dixie Flyers. I actually didn't even know they even existed. Now, I believe they played in a league called the Eastern Hockey League in the 60s. But I never actually thought that there was any type of hockey presence in Tennessee as late as the 1960s at all. I mean, if you would have told me that there might have been a hockey team or something in the mid to late 70s or the 1980s, okay, I would totally believe you. But when I found out that there was a team called the Dixie Flyers that played in Nashville in the 1960s, all the way up until about 1971, if I remember correctly, I would have said that I would be shocked. But thanks to the Predators participating in the Winter Classic this coming season, which starts tomorrow, since it is October 1st, 2019, I learned something new. And I gotta admit, I've been intrigued by that ever since. That's really cool, and I really do hope that the Predators are going to do a Dixie Flyers-inspired uniform. I think that would be really cool. Now, in the Stars' case, doing a Texans throwback, in my opinion, is awesome as well. I remember a post that I believe was most likely quickly forgotten by most folks, and it was posted on sportslogos.net about 3 or 4 years ago. And I remember talking about that article briefly in one of my videos from a few years ago. And I said that I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. I predict that the Dallas Stars will do a Dallas Texans throwback. And I said that they will do one. I said it's not a matter of if. I said that it's most likely a matter of when. And my prediction was that the Dallas Stars will eventually do a Texans throwback or something inspired by the Dallas Texans, because they did actually buy the rights to the name or to the uniforms and the logo. I'm not sure about the team name. I can't remember, but I do know this. They got the rights to use the Dallas Texans uniforms and logos about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was posted on sportslogos.net, So, as I predicted years ago, my prediction has now come to a point where it's actually correct. The Dallas Stars are going to actually do a Texans throwback, and I can now say to you folks who actually did see that video years ago, if you did, and say this: I told you. I knew that the Stars would eventually do a Texans throwback. So seeing them bring that out for the Winter Classic did not shock me. I knew as soon as the Winter Classic announcement was made that I would be absolutely floored if they did not do a Texans-inspired throwback, especially when they bought the rights to use the name and logos and uniforms of the Dallas Texans. Now, in the Predators' case, they came up with a retro-inspired logo that'll only be a shoulder patch. And I've been a fan of this since the moment it came out. I really, really enjoy this logo. I hope that it's going to have a future as the main logo of a jersey, at least a third jersey on a trial run basis. In fact, I think that I even agree with those who say that this is the best logo that the Predators have ever had. And what I'm loving about this logo unveil now is the fact that, in my opinion, these two teams and Adidas have hit this out of the ballpark so far. And let me tell you guys, since Adidas has taken over overall, I have not been a fan of what I've been seeing. So seeing something like this, I'm really impressed, and I hope that this is going to be the trend going forward, where everything that comes out is just amazing. I mean, that's never going to happen, I'm sure. But at least you can keep your fingers crossed. I mean, if Adidas and the NHL starts creating stuff like this going forward and fixing the collars on their jerseys and getting rid of those dimpled shoulder yokes, and hopefully eventually allowing teams to use a template besides the Adi Zero template, well, the NHL could become a good-looking league again, even though I would agree with people who say that overall, even in the Adidas era of NHL uniforms, the NHL still looks relatively decent overall, and I would quite agree. But there are little things that, like the collars, which I've said many times, and other details regarding the Adi Zero uniforms in general that I've not been a fan of. So seeing logos like this come out in the Adidas era gives me a lot of hope and gives me a lot of excitement. In fact, I haven't been this excited about a logo unveil for a Winter Classic since the Blackhawks and the Blues unveiled their retro logos for the 2017 Winter Classic. So sorry, my throat's dry. I think overall that, you know what, the last Winter Classic, in my opinion, that really made me excited was the 2016 Winter Classic in terms of both teams unveiling logos. Now, as I say that, last season's Winter Classic in 2019 was quite awesome as well. The Bruins, using just the uppercase block letter B logo from the 30s and I believe the 40s as well, was really cool. And I'm glad that they decided to bring that retro logo back on a retro uniform that actually used brown instead of black, which was really cool as well. And in the Blackhawks case, although I agree with anyone who says that they've been in far too many outdoor games now compared to the rest of the NHL, I must say it was really cool seeing the Blackhawks come up with a 30s inspired faux back uniform, which is now going to be a third jersey for the Blackhawks this season for only a few games, but still, I'm glad that they are bringing it back. So, in my opinion, although the Buffalo Sabres did a really good job with their Winter Classic uniform a couple of years ago, or back for the 2018 Winter Classic, I was not a fan of what the Rangers came up with. And then last year's Winter Classic, I was overall very happy with what we saw. I thought that both teams did a really good job, but in terms of the logos, I was really excited about the logos unveiled by the Stars and the Predators because it was a situation where we weren't really sure what we were going to be getting. Nobody saw this logo coming, I guarantee it. I mean, I saw something Texans-inspired coming. Most of us did. But the Predators one, I've been very intrigued by, and I've also been very intrigued by this newly unveiled Texans-inspired Stars logo because, in my opinion, it's really nice. And I hope that both of these logos have some lasting power beyond 2020's Winter Classic. I think they're far too good to only be for that one single game, especially Nashville's logo, which will only be a shoulder patch on the 2020 Winter Classic sweater that they come up with, which I hear both teams will be unveiling their uniforms next month in November, which honestly, folks, I'm sure I'm not the only one who cannot wait for that. And in the Stars case here, if you're wondering, I quickly took the time to make this thumbnail, and I thought I'd add some black trim around all the parts of the Stars logo. And as you can see here, based on the logo unveiling by the Stars in a video clip, I added these little details a little bit just to maybe give you viewers out there and myself an opportunity to see what a detailed version of this crest will possibly look like in real life. And I must say, so far, folks, I am very, very impressed by both logos, especially Nashville's. I love it. And the Stars one, honestly, I love this one as well. I really do hope that these two logos stick around beyond 2020. I really do. So what I'm going to do from here is, okay, I want to start by showing you the logo, the way the Stars unveiled it. And I do want to give credit to sportslogos.net for taking this photo out of the video clip, because so far I have not found this logo on the Stars website or anything. So seeing that sportslogos.net did take a clip of this out of the video that they put together showing the unveiling of this logo, I felt that an acknowledgement was certainly necessary for this video. So thank you, sportslogos.net. As you can see, you've got the details in the D and stuff. I have a feeling that this logo will have a felt treatment on the actual jerseys, and I'm really excited about that. The embroidery is going to be really nice too, I'm sure, judging by the detailing inside things such as the star and the capital D. And I guarantee that detail, as you can see here, will be in the letters, the ST and the R and the S in the Stars word mark inside the D. So, part of the logo. So, this logo, if it was done in just white on a bright green jersey, which I would not be shocked at the Stars if we get a victory green versus gold matchup. I think it'll look really nice. I think a lot of people will be happy about it. I'm sure it'll be a good looking matchup, but at the same time, I also would not necessarily be surprised if the Stars did possibly a black sweater or maybe even just a white sweater. You never know. But I'm pretty sure that if I'm going to make my prediction now and say that the Stars are going to be doing a victory green jersey, because the Stars have now, in the past 5 or so years, have become well known for the fact that they are the only NHL team with a bright green jersey. And by that I mean a full-time bright green jersey, not just a gorgeous throwback like the Hartford Whalers throwback that the Hurricanes not only wore for 2 games last season, but have confirmed they will be bringing it back for 1 game this coming season, later on in the 2019-2020 season. So I'm looking forward to that, and I just can't see the Stars not doing a victory green or possibly maybe even a Kelly green sweater. But since it's the Stars, I'm sure it'll be victory green, and hopefully the jerseys are going to be as good as the logos that the NHL, the Stars, the Predators, and of course Adidas have worked on to put together. So I'm really hoping that these logos are going to be on jerseys that are equally good. So that's the logo the Stars will be using 100%. So in the Nashville Predators case, though, I'm going to show you guys something that has surfaced as of late. And it's this word mark right here. So most likely, and at least from my personal guess, we're going to have this word mark on the front of a gold jersey with a navy blue chest stripe on the front, just like what the Dixie Flyers had decades ago. So if they did this word mark on a navy blue chest stripe on a Nashville gold jersey, since it's a tribute to the Dixie Flyers with the new Predators faux back logo on the shoulder, one shoulder, honestly, I think it's going to be a decent looking sweater. And I think that for short-term usage, it's going to be really quite nice. Let's see if maybe I can't find you guys some photos of the Dixie Flyers and the Dallas Texans uniforms. So why not show them to you guys here so that you have a chance to see what we might get from the Dixie Flyers. So, or from the Predators if they do elect to go with a Dixie Flyers inspired throwback sweater. So just bear with me for a moment. So as you can see here, that's what the Dixie Flyers old gold uniform or jersey looked like. So that Nashville Predators word mark on the t-shirt that I just showed you guys from the NHL's website is likely going to be on the front of this jersey. I would be shocked if it wasn't. And it's going to be either this exact style of jersey or something very, very close. And I'm sure that they'll have the Nashville Predators word mark on the front of the jersey so that it is paying homage to, of course, the Dixie Flyers. So basically, it'll be that design with the Nashville Predators word mark on the front, the Winter Classic logo on one shoulder, and that new Predators faux back saber-toothed tiger logo on the other shoulder. So as for the Dallas Stars, let's take a look at their tribute of choice, the Dallas Texans. So this is what the original sweater from the mid to late 1940s looked like. So the fact that the Stars are going to be doing a 40s inspired uniform, in my opinion, is awesome. So, of course, back in the 40s, the Texans wore red. Obviously, that's not going to happen. With the new Stars word mark, it's going to be either black or victory green. And I would not be surprised if the Stars go with a victory green sweater. But at the same time, I mean, could they go with a white sweater to be more like the original Texans? It's possible. But I also would not be surprised if they possibly ended up doing a black faux back sweater. But since it's the Dallas Stars, and since they are known for being the only NHL team with a full-time bright green uniform, home uniform, well, I just can't see the Stars not doing a green Winter Classic sweater. So that's the Texans uniform. Clearly you can tell by the logo the Stars have unveiled that they are paying homage to, of course, the Texans, eh? So a Texans-inspired uniform for Dallas and a Dixie Flyers-inspired uniform for Nashville. I don't know about you viewers out there, but honestly, I think that's going to be one hell of a nice-looking uniform matchup if it's done right. I go back to this. So look at the Predators logo. Notice, if you actually saw the actual press announcement unveiling it, notice that I've tilted the logo to be, horizontal rather than vertical. So I like it like this much better, and I hope this is how it's going to appear on the shoulder patch of the Dixie Flyers inspired 2020 Winter Classic Predators uniform. So I just want to make quick mention that I made this for the purpose of being the thumbnail of this video, and I added the black just as something extra, but also as a bit of a guess of what it could quite possibly look like on an actual green jersey. Would not surprise me one bit if there was black trim on the logo, as I've done in my little mock-up there. So this is the logo, the way that the logo will supposedly look on the shoulders, or on the one shoulder of the Predators Winter Classic jersey. Personally, I mean, it still looks good, but I don't know why they didn't do it like, well, it would help if I actually just showed you guys a proper photo of it. I don't know why they didn't just unveil it like that. I mean, that to me looks fantastic, as the hockey guy would say. This, as a shoulder patch exactly like this, is kind of odd. So if I do it like this and rotate it as I have, this looks absolutely, well, as the hockey guy would say, fantastic. And I agree with people that this should appear on a future jersey. And you know what? I actually am starting to agree with people that, okay, I'm going to go a step further. I've agreed with people since the second I laid eyes on this that this is the best saber-toothed tiger logo that the Predators have ever had. Honestly, I love it. The retro look, I mean, the thing about it is it looks more like a true classic logo. I mean, the Predators have really mediocre home and away uniforms now. So, if they were going to make a change, switching to this logo and doing something way better than what they've come up with, I think would be a very welcome change. Not just by Predators fans, but I think hockey fans as a whole. This is a really, really great logo in my opinion. And I've got to be honest, I love it, and I really hope that the Predators one day make this the main logo of a future jersey. I think it's too good to just be a lousy shoulder patch for a one-time usage. But anyways, overall, I mean, I just hope that the sweaters that these two teams come up with, which will be unveiled next month in November, according to what I've been hearing, which I believe the National Hockey League and the Stars and the Predators made that announcement. But I must say, so far, I am impressed. I just hope that the jerseys are going to be as impressive as the logos that they've unveiled for this event. Because so far, I'm very impressed. And I really do hope that this is going to end up being a fantastic uniform matchup, and I have a very good feeling that it probably will be. Now, as also, I mean, I know I said it months ago, but I must say I have found it odd that of all the teams that the Stars could have been matched up with, that they were matched up with Nashville. I mean, I'm not saying that Nashville should not be in an outdoor game. They deserve to be in an outdoor game. I'm tired of seeing teams like Chicago and Pittsburgh always being in outdoor games seemingly almost every year, by the way it seems to be. So, it's nice to see new teams get to be involved. But I will say this, and I will be honest, I did say it months ago, and I still feel this way. I must confess. It's weird seeing the Predators in a Winter Classic game, especially considering the fact that the Winter Classic has traditionally been reserved for the NHL's older franchises. So, even though I probably would have put the Stars against the Los Angeles Kings, at the same time, I am sold on this idea of a totally unconventional Winter Classic matchup. At first, I was skeptical, but I've had a change of heart. I actually think this is really cool. And the best part is that instead of two teams like Chicago and Pittsburgh in outdoor games, in the umpteenth outdoor game for each team, both the Stars and the Predators are going to get a chance to finally experience an outdoor game for a change. And Stars fans and Predators fans both deserve an opportunity to enjoy an outdoor game, in my personal opinion. I think it's long overdue. And you know what? I'm going to say this too. Now that I think about it, I think that the outdoor sweater possibilities here are more interesting than what we probably would have got if it was Los Angeles in this game instead of Nashville. I mean, the Kings have already brought out 4 in blue and gold 67 throwbacks. I mean, they could have done an 80s 4 in blue and gold throwback, but it just wouldn't be the same. I mean, I don't think they would have done a Gretzky-era throwback for the outdoor game, but, I must confess, seeing a new team that's going to pay homage to an old hockey team that was a part of that is a part of Nashville's hockey history, in my opinion, is something that I'm more excited about because it's going to be something different. I mean, the Kings have already worn gorgeous 67 throwbacks throughout the past 9 years. And now we get to see another team bring out something different. So I'm sold on this concept of two Southern teams and a totally unconventional and relatively newer NHL franchise in the Nashville Predators getting to take part in the NHL's marquee event, the Winter Classic. So honestly, I just wish these two teams would unveil their uniforms tomorrow because I'm really excited. In fact, now I think I'm okay. I'm going to be honest. I've had a change of heart as I'm filming this video. I've never been this excited to see a uniform unveiling for a Winter Classic before. Because the Predators and the Stars are going to both give us something new. Something that we're not really going to be able to totally guess. I mean, just because the Predators and the Stars will be most likely doing Texans and Predators style uniforms doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be exactly like them. I'm sure they'll be very close. In Nashville's case, I'm sure it'll be almost the exact same. But, you know, the possibilities are really intriguing. So seeing what these two teams are going to come up with, in my opinion, or have come up with, I'm sure they're done with their decisions on what the uniforms are going to be by now. But, you know, I'm really excited and I cannot wait to see these uniforms unveiled. This is going to be a really cool looking outdoor game. And the fact that two new teams get to take part, in my opinion, is a really, really nice breath of fresh air. And to you Stars and Predators fans out there, I'm really happy for you. And you guys deserve it. And you know what? I agree with people that it's time for a couple of new teams to take part. I've been starting to feel this way for a long time, and I've actually felt this way for years, that the outdoor games should be an opportunity for all of the NHL's teams, 31, soon to be 32 teams, to get a chance to enjoy and take part in. It's a wonderful event, whether it's a stadium series, even though the uniforms are mostly mediocre in my opinion, and that's not a compliment. I mean, at least the fans of all of the NHL's soon-to-be 32 cities get a chance to enjoy something totally different, and that is an outdoor hockey game. So, and of course, in the NHL's case, I know they make a lot of money from these outdoor games, so it's a win-win. But I will agree with people, though, it does get to be a bit excessive when you see teams like Pittsburgh and Chicago in almost every outdoor game constantly. I mean, I understand they're two of the NHL's marquee franchises in this decade, but you know what? You've got to let other teams have a chance too. I think we can all agree on that. But anyways, you guys, I cannot wait until we get to see what the new uniforms are going to look like for the 2020 Winter Classic. But on that note, folks, I know I've been talking for almost a half an hour, but I've really wanted to talk about this. I'm really excited, and on that note, folks, I'm going to call it a wrap on this video. I'd love to hear what other people think about these logos and what the uniforms are going to be like, and this matchup and the 2020 Winter Classic as a whole. But on that note, folks, this is gonna be a wrap for me. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and of course, as always, you guys, take care, and of course, as usual, you guys, as always, bye for now.